Peace and blessings and keep up the lessons. You know who this is. Yes, it's just Crypto B-Boy. I say Creek. I'm at a tired point right now. So, forgive me if, I slip up on some words. But anyway, I got some stuff for you. This is going to be a Ripple slash XRP, news run. I'm going to run it down. Let's get in it. You ready? Let's get it. All right, here we go. So first thing, man, we're gonna get into what's going on with what everybody's going in on about with and or some other influencers and content creators have done and spoke about Brad Garlinghouse's interview, and he was speaking on Bloomberg. And so we're going to get into that and listen to what he was saying. Ripple CEO says SEC suit is not healthy for industry. So let's check into that. All right. And we'll listen to a little bit and then we'll comment, because this is now Crypto B-Boy commenting. I'm coming at you with my way and my version, or how I perceive what he's saying. All right, so let's go. Ready? Let's get into it. Hold on for a second. Let me just get things up and going. Alrighty then.
SEC bringing the case against Ripple was not really just a case about Ripple or about XRP. It's really about the industry and how the SEC is kind of playing offense and attacking the whole industry. 2.5 years ago when this started, I'm not sure everyone fully digested that, and now that is widely understood. This is going to be pivotal for the whole industry, because if the SEC is able to prevail, I think there's a lot of other cases.
And I would like to say that even in 2020, when the case was first initially put out to the public that there was going to be, or people got the gist of it, and then certain influencers spoke on it. Many of them, and that's what he said, could not digest it, and it didn't take to them to where they would know and actually believe that the SEC would do what they're doing now. And Gary the Goon Gensler, with his shenanigans, doing what he's doing and has been doing, and coming with not with regulatory clarity, excuse me, but coming with enforcement to instead of regulatory clarity, he's doing enforcement, regulatory maneuvers through enforcement. Yeah, okay, and I mean, just extreme with it. But me, I was saying, I didn't think they were gonna do any good. I always known the system, and I come from where I come from, and I know the corruption within the corruption, on the top on down to the bottom in the system, and the judicial system as well. Not just these guys that are regulators for securities or so forth, right? Regulation, or government offices. Okay, now I didn't trust him from the get-go, and I didn't trust the SEC as well. Knew it that it was a regulatory government office, government agency that deals with securities, right, and enforcement of security regulations on assets and the such of like, right. So pretty much, let's let him finish, and we'll finish from there.
And some of them, just in the last 4 weeks, I think they brought 5 additional enforcement cases. The macro headline for me is, this is not a healthy way to regulate an industry. Your regulation through enforcement, as opposed to where we're seeing in other countries where they're doing the work, right? They're codifying, they're creating a framework that allows an industry to grow while protecting consumers. And I think that's really what the U.S. is lagging. And to some degree, why I'm here in Washington is to continue to try to evangelize and educate. Here's how these technologies can really benefit consumers, benefit industry.
Is what I'm hearing from you essentially, if the U.S. doesn't get its act together and move more quickly, all of this is going offshore. It's just going elsewhere.
Well, it already is. I mean, the sad reality is.
And this is the big thing. And even for myself, being a person who lived outside of this country, offshores, and that I learned that there's life beyond America. And there's plenty of people, especially rich people, who know that, because they have money to travel like that. They can go back and forth. Regular people work check to check, living in the neighborhoods, in their hoods, or even in their little towns that rely on their budgets that they have, don't get to get out this country, or do not even have that mindset to even think beyond their bubble of their. And not to say that's bad, but it is what it is. So there's more out there, and some of these companies know that. I mean, you got Trump and big time, tycoons, rich tycoons and whales that have invested and taken their companies and their businesses and off, what do you call it, like took them offshore into other countries to do their manufacturing and all that, whatever, to avoid tariffs and this and all these types of things that the government of America really are strong and rigid on, and causes a sense of stifling of innovation, or stifling of business, flourishing, businesses to flourish. Okay, so I mean, it's well known, it's well known. But anyway, most of you have listened to what, and then this is the scared, this the fear, not the scared, excuse me, the fear of the people right now, and what they have and what they feel today, like what's going to happen with the innovation of cryptocurrency, what's going to happen with, with the likes of what we are looking into and been invested in here. Are we going to get beyond this? So this is why this case is a major catalyst, and it's a major significance of where we're going. What is the future of cryptocurrency in America? And even there's also other countries that piggytail behind America, kiss up, and align themselves with America. And I'm not talking down about America in the way that it's America. It's really those who are in charge. It's those, powers that be that are corrupt and that are, focused on just a chosen few, an elite of those that have power and control and do not want everybody. And this is the main narrative that's been going on, especially from regular influences. This is what we speak. And even in these spaces, which all the back and forth is foolish between the XRP, community and army of people, XRP holders or whatever, all foolishness. It's one thing we go against people who are outside, but even that in the crypto space as a whole, because the significance of this case, the SEC, and all this is what's going on, and eventually the ending of it will bring about some clarity, and hopefully regulatory clarity with Congress and with the people who are going to make the maneuvers in Congress, in the House, and have some regulations put out there. You know what I mean? We need this. And so that's it with that. Let's get into this next one. We're going to read about some of the Ripple things that have been going on, and I'm going to try to get in there for you. So just give me a quick second while I pull it up. And this is from ProCoins News, all right? And the cryptocurrency is a cryptocurrency curator, and they the guy who wrote this was Kevin, I guess. I don't know who he is, but and it was done on the 1st. So it says Ripple executive reveals. Hold on for a second. I got to get this thing a little better for me to scroll it. I'm sorry. Ripple executives reveals company is in talks with over 20 central banks. It looks like Ripple is the leading crypto firm when it comes to the development and implementation of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Brooks Entwistle, I think if I'm saying it correctly, managing director of APAC and MENA, which is the Middle Eastern countries, that are they have their sense of like a organization, association, and so forth in different countries in that area. At Ripple, right? So this is the director of this APAC and MENA, right? Just revealed that the company is discussions or is in discussions with central banks in over 20 different countries regarding CBDCs. This is quite a positive fact, considering that many would have expected that there would be a lot of regulatory hurdles for Ripple to overcome, but most are welcoming discussions for this topic. As Ripple had predicted, the demand and interest for CBDCs is continuing to grow, and the company has positioned itself to be the leading solutions provider for those who are interested. If more central banks enter partnerships with the company to use the XRPL to power these CBDC solutions, it would be an extremely bullish scenario for its native token XRP. And we believe so. Many of us who are XRP holders and have been doing our due diligence and research into finding out this stuff. I mean, that's been talking about, arguing about, speculating about all this stuff that we get into, right? In the spaces, Twitter space, even, sometimes discussions in the discords and whatever, and YouTube, right? Videos like myself putting it out, and people putting out, but then people speaking against it because they have their downs, I could say, on XRP, and they're frustrated and they lost hope, basically. So they moved on, or they've switched another project and so forth. So now they're on these crusades. It doesn't make sense. And they're coming after, people who are holders still, and people who to try to act as though they are saving us by giving us information that XRP or Ripple or whatever has no relevancy as a legitimate company and as a legitimate valued cryptocurrency, right? As far as XRP is concerned, it looks like Ripple is the leading crypto firm when it comes to the development and implementation of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Brooks Entwistle, manager director of APAC and MENA at Ripple, just revealed that the company is in discussions with central banks in over 20 different countries regarding CBDCs. This is quite a positive fact, considering that many would have expected that there would be a lot of regulatory hurdles for Ripple to overcome, but most are welcoming discussions for this topic. All right, I tried to post the Twitter, it was a Twitter feed, or it was a tweet from T's Crypto Spot, because there's issue in relation to this as well with the CBDCs. Now let's go into that, because I don't need to go on. I mean, I can. It's got some good reading, and if you can go to Pro Coins News and read the article yourself. Do your own due diligence, okay? And so, guys, also don't forget to subscribe to your bro, and don't forget to click the like button as you come in and you listen to the video and so forth. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into where this thing here that these guys are getting into. Now this is from this guy named, what is his name? I can't remember his name. Hold on for a second. Scams, right? Yeah, Scams is what they know him as in the social media, especially on the Twitter spaces, and him continuously posting articles about what he is in, dislike, or he's against XRP, and he's against the project. He's against their whole, Ripple's whole thing, as far as when it comes to XRP having relevancy, having some value, or that it has a use case that's well enough functional to help and to provide the functionality for CBDCs, right? With private ledger, as look at what we're going to get into. And the discussion got really extensive, so many people, and and listen what he says. I'll try to go back. Let me see. Hold on for a second. Listen what he says. He says, hold on. Let me see. Where is that? I'll pull it up. Okay, hold on. So it says, are all the XRP influencers tweeting about this story? If not, ask yourself why. Are they sharing news or a well-crafted narrative? And so throughout that whole tweet, which I can't scroll, but you can look on your own and go into the tweet feed from yesterday till today. And I think it was yesterday that this was going on, and so many comments from different people. But the one that stood really had a little more significance, and it was T because he brought a lot more information to back up. There was other people who brought some information, but I really basically looked at T's because T was posted by even the Coin Pro, the Coin. I think it was, what is the name again? These guys. Hold on. No, I'm sorry, wrong. Let me see. Pull that up. Okay, hold on for a second. So I can get you guys to, okay. Oh, Pro Coins News, right? Pro Coins News. All right, so you know that's clear. So let's get into what T said. Okay, hold on for a second. Let me close this guy out. Okay, so what T is saying here. Matter of fact, let me go over here and I'll read it, and you can just see as much as I see. I see a little more because the scrolling of the mechanism wasn't working for that particular tweet, but I do have it on my homepage. Okay. So anyway, as it says, T's crypto spot. Okay, this is T's crypto spot. So this senior official for the BOE's concern is ultimately scalability on a large scale. Well, take a look at Ripple's vision regarding CBDC private ledgers, TPS, and scaling potential for central banks in the photo. So you see the photo there, right? And so it's saying the CBDC, we'll start reading a little bit off of that. The CBDC, private ledger. The CBDC private ledger is based on the same blockchain technology that powers the XRPL, right? XRP ledger, which means that the CBDC private ledger is built for payments. This also means the CBDC private ledger is designed for issuing currencies, with over 5,400 currencies issued on the XRPL. Over the past 8 years, it's been doing this, okay? Including its native digital asset, XRP, which can be leveraged as a neutral bridge asset for frictionless value movement between CBDCs and other currencies. And then he highlights this. This is what T highlights. Moving money on the CBDC private ledger will be cost effective, reliable, and close to instantaneous transactions. Transactions can also happen at volumes required by central banks. The central bank digital currency, CBDC's private ledger, will handle tens of thousands of transactions per second, TPS, initially, with the potential to scale to hundreds of thousands TPS over time. So the issue that this guy was bringing, the point that they were bringing in that article from, let me see, hold on for a second. If I can pull it up. Yeah, the DLT not efficient enough to power CBDC's BOE's Cunliffe. Okay, the Bank of England is experimenting with tokenization assets for real estate sales, as well as developing a digital pound. Lawmakers were told. So distributed ledger technology, DLT, is too clunky to be reliable used for a central bank digital currency, CBDC. A senior Bank of England official told lawmakers Tuesday. Now, he's a senior Bank of England official, this guy, John Cunliffe. He is not a tech person. That's one thing, okay? So how can he really expound and speak on that and be definitive, or give a little more definitive information to explain where this digital ledger technology is too clunky? Look at it, says too clunky. So when people use those terms, you got to read into that clunky, meaning that he's trying to be funny and he's trying to downplay, or you know what I mean, or demean. And that word clunky is like saying it's too fat, it's too reckless. Okay, so it's too clunky that is not really that great. Okay, so this is what he's saying. So it's kind of a put down. So when you have people in these positions that speak like that, you got to be careful. You got to know, Gary de Gensler syndrome. Be careful, okay? Wake up, people. And scams. I mean, he seems to be an intelligent guy, but he's doing just as he says other influencers do, and they don't do their own due diligence and reading and looking and really do a lot more scanning and you know what I'm saying, screening of the information that's coming through by just words alone, key words that you can take and you, as they say, decoding type of capabilities that you might have by utilizing when within the English language, breaking down words that people use for reasons. Okay. All right. So, and then it says, I'll finish up. And he said this on Tuesday, pouring cold water on industry claims about the technology that underpins crypto. See, cold pour. This is what they say in the article. He's pouring cold water, meaning like, you know, wow, okay. And John, meaning like full stop. That freezes you, like you gets you, you know, you start shivering and you shut down. The John Cunliffe, the central bank's deputy governor for financial stability, said it was now more likely than not that a digital version of the British pound would be needed. Bump that. We're not going to go into all the rest of that stuff, but I'm reading it from my homepage, and you know that's this you know, it doesn't make sense to me. You know, I think there's too much hoopla over this stuff, and but also know, as we read about already in the you know, CoinPro news, that Ripple is doing what they do and have been doing. You know, the everything is right there in front of us. And like I even heard from a shout out to my man, and a shout out to T again for bringing that and bringing this post. But shout out to my man ISO Goat when you know, he made a point. He says, you know, we're you know, not really looking, and stuff is right in front of us. Stuff has been happening right in front of us, and maneuvers have been made and patterns are. And you know, you got these people arguing in spaces about back and forth for riddlers, if they're relevant in the you know, in the space to be able to benefit the people or whatever. And one of them was my man um, uh, Baba Cubs or Cugs or something like that. And I was in his space, and you know, he's just doing his thing, you know. And I got him. I understand where he's coming from. I don't put him down, even though him and Dale had some outs that, you know, it's understood. You know, everybody's not going to like each other, so we know that, and everybody's going to disagree. You know, people are going to disagree, and sometimes it get a little bit out of hand, as we've seen. You know, but besides that, he was making a pretty good point, and he was going back and forth in the space, not in his space, but someone else's space. I think it was can't remember the space, but some of you might know already, in the Twitter space. And he was talking about you know, riddles, and how riddles can tell you certain things of what's going on, and patterns, give you patterns, you break it down and decrypt, you know, or decode, you know, with certain writings and certain pictures. And you know, they was going back and forth on about emojis and emoji scams and him, you know. And it's ridiculous, and we shouldn't be even doing this, you know. It's just really embarrassing for people sometimes. But I understand his passion about going in. But then again, okay, you know, let the knuckleheads say what they want to say and what have you, and just you move on and say, listen, I do what I do. You do you. You scams, and you want to run out chase people who are doing scams or whatever in any part of the crypto space, especially XRP community, especially Ripple and XRP and anything that has to do with Ripple. That's your you know, your mission. You know, you're on a crusade mission, my man Scams, and you need to get over that, bro. You need to just chill, do your thing, wait for your money to come in like everybody else. Take the popcorn, eat it like you're watching a game, and just chill back, or do what you got to do to keep money coming in. Have several flows of income, cash flow coming in, because we're in hard times. So you can't just rely on one thing, and diversify your. And that is just for everybody, not just for him. But I'm just giving him advice. Come on, man, and any of you guys who keep on with this foolishness. But anyway, that's that, and I appreciate you guys listening. Again, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button down there, for your bro, and keep it going. Stay with me until the next video. I'll be coming up with some more stuff. I'm going to be dealing with stuff on Bricks Nation, but I'm going to be going, and one of my videos is going to be focusing on going into the rabbit hole and going way down, and probably meeting Alice and all the rest of those guys. But you know what I'm saying. I'm just going to go into it, and we're going to get into some conspiracy, not only more theories, conspiracy facts. The stuff that's happened and came to be, and all this stuff that these people talk about in some of these, spaces, and they get a little bit extra with it, though. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to bring mine. I'm going to get in on my video, and you guys can sit in and watch and get in and what my background of what I've been doing for years before I even got into crypto, even knew what crypto was, before Bitcoin. You understand what I'm saying? Before Bitcoin even came to existence, the stuff that we was talking about. Because as I always say, and I'll leave it at this, it's all part of the plan. Everything that we see and that we're going through. And of course, for me, my position, as you know, some of you already know I'm Muslim. Allah is the best of planners, and I'll leave it at that. Or the Creator is the best planners. If that's better for you, because everybody has their own different type of belief and understanding in the one who created all these things. Anyway, thank you. Appreciate it. You guys stay with me. Till the next time, I'm out. Peace and blessings. Keep up the lessons.